New York City, stunned by violence once again. Shooting on a Brooklyn subway during the height of rush hour this morning left 28 people injured. 10 of them suffered gunshot wounds. Here's New York Governor Kathy Hochul at a press conference earlier today.
No more mass shootings. No more disrupting lives. No more creating heartbreak for people just trying to live their lives as normal New Yorkers. It has to end, and it ends now. And we are sick and tired of reading headlines about crime. It has to stop. I'm committing the full resources of our state to fight this surge of crime, this insanity that is seizing our city, because we want to get back to normal.
Get back to normal, huh? Actions speak louder than words, Governor. Your party is the problem. Let's talk about how they could actually do something about the crime situation in New York with New York City Councilmember Joe Borelli of Staten Island. Joe, good to see you.
You too, Buck. Thank you.
I mean, first, can you just start, as I sit here speaking to you, we have members of the NYPD and other law enforcement agencies trying to find this individual. I mean, what are your first reactions to what occurred today on the subway in New York City?
Well, it sounds like, first of all, we're lucky that this person didn't clean or maintain their guns properly because, according to police sources, the gun had jammed and the perp discarded that before fleeing. But you're right. The NYPD and the FBI and their partners are all on the hunt tonight for this person. I do commend some of our city leadership for taking the proper steps and locking down neighborhood schools, cordoning off an area, and having a tremendous police response. It just goes and really flies in the face, rather, of what the governor was saying. I mean, just trying to campaign at the podium and speak in platitudes. Like, my God, it's not the time for that sort of campaign pandering that we saw from Kathy Hochul. And frankly, she should have just moved out of the way and let three competent women speak and update us on the real situation. The deputy mayor, the police commissioner, and the fire commissioner are all extremely competent women.
And Hochul, in her own mind, I mean, she said today that she'll commit the full resources of the New York State government to dealing with the crime problem. Are Democrats suddenly recognizing that they have to do things differently, or are we going to hear more about, community outreach and sports programs for youth and things like that? Social workers. I mean, do they realize that we need to actually lock up criminals, back our police, have prosecutors that don't have left-wing progressive lunatic ideas? What does Kathy Hochul's version of helping with crime look like, as far as you know?
No, rest assured, it'll be more of the midnight basketball type of criminal justice policy that we've seen from a lot of Democrats. The governor just passed a budget, and in that budget, they got some form of reforms to our bail reforms. But these particular reforms are extremely small, minuscule, and meaningless. And basically, Kathy Hochul had to go to the state legislature and said, how little can we do on bail reform so that you guys aren't mad, my progressive allies, but the public is off my back in the next gubernatorial race. Obviously, that's not going to work out because we're not going to see any meaningful change from the reforms that were made. But if she was serious about those reforms, she would use her bully pulpit day in, day night. Frankly, the mayor's been pretty clear on this. The one really highlight of Mayor Adams is that he's been pretty clear on this. But she could use her bully pulpit to push back on the state legislature and put the blame where it belongs. Most New Yorkers are not afraid of a mass shooting day in and day out. They are afraid of gang violence. They are afraid of shootings on subway platforms, but those are usually from people who are released back on their own recognizance because of the weak, ineffective laws in New York State.
Don't miss American Scandal, Hunter Biden. A new First TV exclusive special hosted by Buck Sexton. Available right now only on the First TV app.